welcome to another episode of The Zog. This week I'm going to do something different. I'm going to introduce what will eventually become just a section of this thing where I'm talking about retro games and my collections, because I'm a collector of retro games. I love games and gaming, I always have. My first computer I bought in 1985, but before then I've been playing on the old grandstand weird paddle things where it had a paddle for a controller and a dial on it. Dials went out of fashion pretty quick, didn't they? Because they're not very good. But that's what it was, my introduction to games. Light gun games, Pong, things like that. It was great. And then I got the Amstrad CPC. I've got one here still. And love them. So I am a collector of retro stuff. And I thought the best way to share my love of this, because I like sharing my love of things, is to discuss my retro hauls on this show. So that's what we're going to do for this episode. What I found recently is that CEX are trying to get rid of a load of games, basically. So I just got a stack of PS2 and original Xbox games for just under £9. So I thought I'd go through them and just say, if you're wanting to get into collecting older games, or you just want something new to play, have a look at these second-hand places, because some of the really old stuff that they're trying to get rid of, they're pretty much giving it away. So let's have a look at what this is. Now, not all of this is the stuff that I just got from CX. These top two things are something I picked up on eBay because I really wanted these ones to fill particular collections. Now, this is the first one I want to talk about. It's Monster Max on the Game Boy. Cartridge and case only, but brilliant working condition. Fantastic. So I was really impressed with this, and I've just been having a play on it. It works perfectly. Works straight out the box, which is great. No faffing about. And really nice quality. It finishes off the John Rittman collection for the three isometric 3D games that he did. And I'm really, really happy I got that. So I was really impressed. And it's a good fun game, so I'll be playing that later on today as well. But the second one, Band Hero. Now, this, when I got it, second-hand off eBay, had never been opened. The plastic was still on it, and I took the plastic off because obviously I want to give it a try. But brilliant condition, never been opened, perfect, everything's there. So I was really impressed with getting this, and this finishes off a collection I've been trying to make of the various Guitar Hero spin-offs. I have one game left in the Guitar Hero series that I have to get, which is Guitar Hero Aerosmith, and then I'll have the full collection of that, which is something I've been working on for several years. I haven't been able to find a copy of Aerosmith since it came out. It was there 1 week and gone the next. It was ridiculous. But those are the two things that I picked up from eBay. And yeah, I realised that eBay is not always the best place to get things. There are resellers on there at the moment that, they're just ruining the hobby. Let's put it that way. By buying up huge amounts of things and then splitting things and selling everything off on Buy It Now for far more than it's actually worth. And that really, really annoys me, because I want to be able to collect these things. And also means that my main collection, this one here, I'm trying to collect Game Gear games. I want to get the entire collection. The old Game Gear cartridges and the boxes, things like that. I've got a fair few of them in this box here. And I've got a few Game Boy games in there as well, actually, now I think about it. But I'm trying to finish that collection, because Game Gear was the one that I had as a kid. I was one of those unlucky kids, you might say, that chose the wrong format. Because the Game Gear looked like the better format, because it is, really. It's a more powerful console. But it wasn't as widely successful, because it wasn't as cheap. So, in the end, I seemed to be ostracized by my peers at school of having the wrong console. But I love it. I love the Game Gear. So I'm going to try and complete a collection of the games. But it means that I'm currently battling against resellers who, whenever there's a batch of games come up, they will bid stupid money, and then you'll see it turn up again in batches of 1 or 2. Buy it now for double what it should actually be, and then they just ruin the hobby. It makes it so difficult to get this stuff. So I get annoyed. But anyway, let's get back to this. This is what I wanted to talk about today. If you're wanting to start a collection, this is the way to do it. I mean, some of these games aren't the best games ever. In fact, I'd say a few of them aren't the best games ever. But if you want to try and ever complete a collection, you'll need these ones in it. So I thought, I'll get them now when they're there, rather than having to hunt down ones I really don't want. later on just to complete a collection, because it seems a bit silly. So the most I paid for any of these games was £1, and I only paid £1 on 2 games. So let's see what I managed to get for just under £9 for the set. EA Sports Madden 2003. Now, the box itself is actually pretty good condition. There's a bit of wear and tear on it, but it's not bad. The game itself, I can see the disc has been scratched, but it's scratches that won't be too bad, and it's still going to play. But look at the manual. The manual looks almost unused. So I was really impressed with that one. For 50p, you can't go wrong, can you? So even though I'm not an American football fan, hockey is my thing. Ice hockey is my thing. You can't really complain. Now, Peter Jackson's King Kong. I've never managed to get through the film. It's one of those films where eventually I'll manage to do it in parts, but for the most part, I just haven't bothered. Manual has been used. The game itself, it's a couple of scratches. It's been played a couple of times, let's put it that way. But the box itself has seen better days. It's got marks on it, it's scratched. But yeah, can't complain too much for 50p. Now, here's one that I had to say, yeah, I'm going to get that regardless, because although it's been slated, Deus Ex Invisible War, that's still good quality, man. Look at that, it's nice. This again was 50p. These top 3 have been quite expensive, but it's got a mark inside the box, which annoys me. But what can you do? You pays your money, you takes your choice. And the stuff, the bump that came with it, it's still in the box. But the manual's been worn a bit, but never mind. You can't really complain too much when you're getting a game for 50p. The disc itself, though, almost unused. So that's interesting. So I was quite happy with that. But yeah, the box itself, slightly worn, but never mind. And the other Xbox game, I only got 2 Xbox. I went mainly for PlayStation, but I'm going to have another look in CEX and game down in town and see just what's there. Rainbow Six 3 on Xbox. So again, the game's been played, but not by much. It looks pretty good quality. The manual itself has been, I can tell it's been read, but not by much, because it's not all that worn. It's got a couple of marks on the edge. So, not bad. The box itself has one little mark on the bottom, but aside from that, perfectly fine. 30p. You can't go wrong for this. When you're starting up a collection, you really can't complain too much, can you? International Super Karts. Kart racing game, PlayStation. Never even heard of this one. 10p. Never even heard of it before. Manual, not too bad. Bit worn, but not too bad. The game itself, if I remember correctly, yep, hardly played. 10p for that. You can't say no to these things. The box itself has been battered. It looks like it's been on the shelf for quite a while. But for 10p, you can't complain. Now, this one was a silly thing. I got it mainly because it was 25p. iToy. I don't have an iToy. iToy Play. Don't have an iToy, but I'll eventually pick one up. So I thought, well, while it's there, I'll get it, and then we'll see how it goes. The manual has a load of marks, so it's obviously been used at some point. The box itself, it's got a few scrapes on it, and it looks warm, but perfectly fine. The disc itself has a bit of wear on it, but for 25p, I'm not going to complain too much. I think it's still going to play, and if it doesn't, I'll put it through one of those rubbing things to get it to work. But again, marks on the inside of the case, so that annoys me. But for 25p, I'm not going to complain too much. Now, I'm not a football fan. I actually played football for my school team, because at the time they needed a defender, and I was pretty good in defence. Well, they thought I was, but here's the thing. There was one game I played for my school team where we lost 7-1. And one game where I didn't play because I was ill, and it was the only game where we won. So yeah, I was there to fill up the numbers more than anything else. I wasn't actually that good, but like I say, ice hockey is my thing. I was a fan of basketball and rally racing when I was younger as well. I still like rally racing and basketball, but I don't get to play basketball much now because I'm quite ill. But I was never really that into football, although I did love Football Management. I played Football Manager and Championship Manager with my dad for years, and that was great fun. We had a lot of good fun with those games. But here we are, FIFA 06 on the PlayStation. Now, the box has got a slight mark on it, but apart from a little dent there and a bit of wear and tear here and there, it's actually good quality. So for 10p, I wasn't going to complain. The manual looks like it's been read once or twice, but aside from that, the marks, little mark on the bump. But aside from that, perfectly fine. And the disc itself, let's have a look. Couple of scratches, but nothing major. So I think that's going to play just fine. And for 10 pence, I will not complain too much. Now, this one, the only reason I picked up Little Britain, the game, is because I know that once I've done the Game Gear collection, once I've completed all that, I'm going to want to try and complete another collection, because that's what I do. I'm a collector as a hobbyist. And I know that if I go for PlayStation, eventually I'm going to have to hunt this bloody thing down. So I thought, while it's there for 20 pence, I will get it, to stop me having to hunt this game. It's damaged on the back. There's gouges and stuff on the front. There's marks. It's not in great quality. The manual has been used and read. It's got bends. It's not the brilliant quality game, but never mind. A few scratches on the disc. It's not actually been played that much from what I can see. Or if it has been played, it's been played with care. But what I find the best is, it says on the back, play as your favourite Little Britain characters, which I remarked to my wife, what, you mean I can play as no one at all? Wow! Not a fan. I found the programme immensely offensive, let's put it that way. So let's move on quickly. UEFA Champions League 2004 to 2005. Again, bit of a dent on the front and a couple of dents on the back, but nothing major. For 15 pence, you can't really complain. Now we've got here UEFA's Champions League manual. Hardly used at all. It's pretty good quality. Can't really complain. There's a slight mark, a slight dent in the top where it's obvious that it's just been sat in this thing for too long. And the game itself, either not used much or used with care. So for 15 pence, I thought that was a bargain. Let's move on again. Conflict Desert Storm 2. Now, I remember seeing this around a lot back at the time that the PlayStation 2 was around. And never played it, but for 20 pounds, no, it was 20, I think this was about 30 pence. You can't really complain too much, can you? And once again, manual, hardly used, the bump is still there. So, yeah, I'm really impressed by the quality of this one, because a few scratches on the disc, but not too much. And a good quality case, hardly any marks on the case, so 30 pence, can't be robbed for that. It adds to the collection. Medal of Honor Frontline, however, dents on the back of the case. You can actually, wow, my goodness, with the light there, you can see the CD imprint. The front, a few marks, but this has been in one of those 3 for 2 offers, because it had a thing round here. And it's been sticky, really sticky. So I'm going to have to clean that up, because it keeps sticking to things, and it's a bit annoying. So let's have a look at the game itself. Now, I know that this has been played a lot, because the box opens like that, just by opening it. And it's got the white lines where the plastic is wearing out. The game is scratched. Not too much, though, but I think that's going to be fine. And we'll see how it goes. One of the nodules for the CD is missing, which is probably why some of it's scratched, because all the bump is here and in pretty good quality, and aside from a couple of marks, the manual itself is in good quality as well. So can't really complain too. Oh, there goes the thing. I'm going to have to get a replacement box for this one, but for 25 pence, I think that was 25 pence. They're all, the most, aside from one or two that were around, the most that I paid for any of them was about 50p, so I can't really complain for the price. Now this one caught my eye immediately when I went into the shop. Starsky and Hutch. I don't know anything about it. I've never played it, never seen any reviews, but I know the TV show. I never really watched it, but I know of it. So I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Let's give that a try. The box is in decent condition apart from a couple of marks on the back and a bit of a mark on the bottom of it, so not too bad. Manual looks like it's hardly been read at all, so can't complain there. And what we got here, slight mark on the back, it's a couple of scratches. Overall, you can't really say much bad about that. Now this is the one that I paid £1 for. Why? Because it looks funny. Nickelodeon Rocket Power Beach Bandits. I have never heard of this game. It's the first time I've ever seen it, and who knows? Could be good, could be bad, but for £1 I'll take my chances. The box, it looks a little worn because there's a few scuff marks, but nothing too bad. The manual, again, it's been read, but not by much. There's a couple of bends on the edge of the papers, but overall, that's pretty good quality. And let's have a look at the disc. Few scratches. It's been played a few times. Must have been loved by someone. But aside from a couple of fingerprints, that's going to clean up just fine. So, for £1, I'm not going to complain. International International Q Club. This was 10p. I like pool games. I was a fan of Virtual Pool on the PC. And played that one so much. I have the Xbox version of Virtual Pool, and it's not quite the same, but I'll give a pool game a try because Virtual Pool was so much fun. The disc is in almost impeccable condition. There's nothing on there that's bad, so I'm going to say, yeah, that looks pretty good. The manual, almost untouched. In fact, I would go so far as to say that this manual's probably never been out the box. So there's that. So for 10p, I'm not going to complain because aside from a couple of dents on the back of the case, this is in pristine condition. For 10p, you can't be robbed, can you? I was impressed with that one. Here we go. Britney's Dance Beat, and someone has really loved this because it's marked, it's gouged, it's been beaten and prodded and poked. There's no manual to it, it's missing. And the disc itself looks somewhat worn. But again, 25p. I'll give it a try. I mean, I'm no massive fan of rhythm games, but I do like a dance mat game because it's one good way of getting exercise, providing that my knees aren't causing me problems. So I'm not going to say no to that one. Now, this one was another one that the moment I saw it, I picked it up and went, yes, I am having this. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. I had a copy of this, which I bought full price when it was released on the PlayStation 2, and I loved that game. I lent it to a friend about 7 or 8 years ago, and I've never seen it since. Now I've got a replacement for 50p, and yeah, it's a bit battered, and the manual is missing, but the game itself, it's alright condition, so I am going to be enjoying that, even though there's no manual, but I don't need the manual because I've played it so much, I know what to do, so I'll be happy with that. Snowboarding. Snowboard Racer 2. Never heard of Snowboard Racer 1 or 2, but I'll give it a go. I mean, I liked a snowboarding game I played a few years ago, so I'll give this a try. This looks slightly used, but there's no gouges on it, just a bit of scuffing. The box has been opened a lot because it's folding out and I can see the white lines from the plastic use. The disc itself has been treated with care. And the manual, it's been read, I can tell it's been read, but doesn't seem anything wrong with it, so not bad for 15p. Rally Fusion. Now, I'm actually going to be playing this later on today because I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Like I said earlier on, I'm a fan of rally games, and this is scuffed, but otherwise in pretty good condition. For the case, the game itself, it's got a few fingerprints on and a couple of scratches, but nothing that will cause problems. And the manual, it's like again, it's been read, but not by too much. And all overall, for 30p, I'm going to say that looks like a bargain. Is the game any good? I don't know, but I will be looking forward to playing it later on, and I hope I'll enjoy it. Now this one, oh my goodness. I'm not a fan of talentless shows, but Pop Idol is Dance Mat compatible, and I got it for 20p. So I can't really complain too much. If there's a couple of songs on here I can dance to on a dance mat, I'll be happy. The box itself, it's got a few marks on it, but it's clearly been treated with care for the most part. The manual and all the bump that's here, there's a fair amount of bump actually, and it's in pretty good condition. It looks like the manual itself has maybe been read once and then stored in here, so I'm not going to complain too much there because it's all here. Let's have a look at the game itself. Yeah, a couple of fingerprints, but no real mark. No, sorry, one scratch. So fingerprints and a scratch, that's been treated with care. So someone's like this before they've traded it in. I'll give that a try later on with my dance mat and I'll be happy. Bratz. No idea what this game is. Bratz Rock Angelz. It looks like something for 6-year-olds. It's about starting your own rock band, and it's got a couple of dents on the box. But again, it fills a collection. I won't have to hunt for it later, so let's give it a look. No manual. So that's something I have to hunt down if I want to complete this thing properly. And what have we got here? Scratches, so it's obviously been used, but nothing major. I think that'll run perfectly fine. 10p. Of course I'm going to pick it up. Last but not least, SOCOM US Navy SEALs. Now, here's another one I've seen around. At the time, I remember seeing it. I have no idea where it is. This manual, not manual, the cover is clearly a one that CX have made because the print quality is not fantastic. I don't know whether you'll be able to focus on that and see it. There. See, the print quality is not immensely great, but it'll do for the moment until I get another one. And light scuffing and not scuffing, light use. Let's put it that way. Nothing too much on there. Basically, it's a game that someone has played a lot and then traded in. The box is practically fallen apart. It's a DVD case. So basically, for 10p, of course I was going to pick it up for the game itself because you never know, it might be a fun game to play. But there you are. All those games, and it came in at, what was it, £8.85? So, of course, I'm going to go for it. So, there we are. What can I say? It's one way, if you want to get into collecting these old games, starting off with a collection like that, even though not all of those games are going to be fantastic, it's good basis for your collection. I mean, what is that? I don't know, coming up on 20 games for less than 10 quid. I am not going to complain. And I think that if you're going to try for one of these collections, that's a good way to start. So have a look in some of your second-hand places and see what you can pick up, because you never know. It might be good, might be bad, but it's part of your collection then, isn't it? You don't have to go and hunt for it later on and then be disappointed if you have to pay over the odds. So anyway, that's really all I've got time for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did like this, and if you did, remember to click the like button. Share it with your friends so that they can have a look at retro stuff too, and do subscribe for future videos because we'll be more in the future. But until next time, this has been the first in a Zog section on retro games. I'm hoping to do more of this because, like I said, I'm going to be trying for the Game Gear collection, so I'll be back at least with a bit more of an update on that, and possibly other things too. But until then, bye for now.